Hi, I'm Ian Griffiths, and this is a talk from the Building Silverlight Business Applications series. We'll now look at a feature added in Silverlight 4, the events that out-of-browser applications raise to notify you when the user is trying to close a window. The window object, which is accessible through the application.current.mainWindow property, provides a closing event, which is raised when the window is being closed either by the user or due to a logoff or a shutdown. The event argument provides a cancel flag which you can set to true to prevent the window from closing. You might do this so you can display a warning if the application holds user data that's not yet been saved. Note that you can only do this when the window is being closed directly by the user. Silverlight applications cannot block a logoff or a shutdown event. The closing event is only available to applications that have elevated trust. Attempting to attach a handler to the event from any untrusted scenario will cause an exception. To illustrate the closing event, I've got a simple Silverlight application here that I've configured for trusted out-of-browser operation. As you can see, the UI is very simple. It just contains a single checkbox. And in the code behind, I'm going to handle the closing event and then look at that checkbox and only allow the application to be closed if the checkbox is checked. First thing I've got to do is hook the closing event, but only if I'm running out of browser and I'm running elevated. If either of those things is not true, I'll get an exception when I try and do this. And of course, when the application first runs, it'll be running in browser, and so I need to make sure that I don't cause an exception in that case. So we check the app.current is running out of browser flag, and we check the app.current has elevated permissions flag, and only if both those things are true do we attempt to go to the main window and handle its closing event. And then here, I'm simply going to say, well, if that checkbox's value is false, then we'll attempt to cancel the closing of the window. Now, what I should really do is say, well, actually, only if this is cancelable should we try and cancel it. Because if the closing event is coming in because of a system shutdown or a logoff, we can't even try and cancel it, so we shouldn't bother. So, with that code in place, let me run the application. Now, initially we're running out of browser, so of course this won't do anything because I only hook the closing event when we're running in a top-level window out of browser. So let's install this. And here the thing's running. So the can close item is not checked right now. So if I try and close the window, nothing happens. But if I check the checkbox, then my code lets the event through. So you can see that the event is being allowed to block the closing of the window. This gives me control over when I can let the window go away. So if the user hadn't saved some data, I can give them an opportunity to make that happen so they don't lose any information.